this program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed
that
to,
is
right?
Exactly what we're about. You have to remember that. Look, whether we get 1 million views or we get 1, it is still Be More. Believe me, for real. I refuse to have a generation behind me not doing better than me.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I can't sleep at night knowing the next generation is going to do worse than all. That doesn't make sense.
Be more for real.
DMV and Be More.
Put the number 4 up. Show them the number 4.
It's like, okay, we separate, but when you move outside of Maryland, we all the same.
We all the same.
Canada
But you gotta play your role.
Canada is Be More for real. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Welcome to BMore4Real podcast. Get ready for the realest conversations anywhere on the net.
Keep it locked with us.
We planting seeds in the streets where the hearts is cold, where the young ones bleed, where the truth ain't told, where the pain run deep and the dreams get stole. We bring light to the block, the righteous seed will grow. From boys to kings, from girls to queens. No more suffering in our sleep, it's just a righteous dream. We speak light in the mist where the darkness unfold, healing our youth, hoping y'all could save their soul. The YNs, they walking around with a pole in their book bag. Heart so cold they end up with a toe tag. No pops, just a Glock and the pain in their jeans. Mama be working double, missing all of their dreams. So the block, they raise them up in a predator way, where the love is getting taxed and the trust don't pay. The OGs, they put some trauma like it's part of the code. Now they sleep with a pole, feeling safe on the road. I walk around with the word, exposed to deep in the night. Speaking life to the broken, trying to bring them to light. Told the shorties on the block, don't let the trauma define you. Yahweh see your scars through the fire, refine you.
Whoa. Be More for real is in the building. Be More for real is in the building, man. If this is your first time listening, man, make sure you go ahead and hit that like, share, and that subscribe button, man. If this is your first time listening, this is the realest podcast on the internet, man. It's rated R for reality. Brought to you by way of Real Explosions. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. Rated R for reality. What more can I tell you? What more can I say? What more can I say, man? Be More for real. We're just going to go ahead and get right into it. I mean, we're going to do a part 2, right? We're going to do a part 2 of, the system versus the soul, because I feel like that point has to be exacerbated to the public and to the people. And I want the people to notice this. And I appreciate the viewers, man. We've been getting a steady stream of viewers as well. And we would appreciate your feedback. But, let's go ahead into the Be More for Real moment. On the Be More for Real moment, on the Be More for Real level, it's been quite the week, man. It's been quite an interesting week. I would say it's been iffy, but it's a word that rhymes with iffy, but I don't want to say it because, I just don't want to say it. But if you know what I'm saying? If you know. Anyway, this is Be More for Real, man. It's a pleasure working with the kids on Monday night. Was working with them on, Be More Pod, working with Eric and working with Sensei Sandy, man. Working with those guys, man, is always awesome. It's always a pleasure to be in the building with those guys, man. What more can I say? Go ahead and check out the youth show, man. We're going to go ahead and drop that youth highlight real quick, real fast for you. Let's get into it.
No, that was the defense.
No, since y'all had...
Yeah, it really was. I respect Joe, but let's keep his game.
He was throwing dots that game.
We had a triple crown defense last year, and MVP quarterback, and we lost. And I cannot get that out of my head.
Them fouls giving y'all a problem.
They was talking about he Lamar Jackson.
You said, that was crazy.
Disrespectful.
That is... Look, she said that's Merville though. You can't say that they always put up a fight with y'all. You
They
can't
put
say
up
they
a fight,
don't.
but when the last time Merville won against Dunbar?
That's not the point. It's
No,
just
no,
they
no,
put
no,
up a
no,
fight.
That is the
When the
point.
last
What?
time Merville
We gotta-
won
we
against
gotta
Dunbar?
Yeah, good game.
Y'all beat us. We beat y'all this year. Y'all didn't make it to the
No, y'all didn't beat
championship.
us this year. The rest beat us. Taylor Swift beat us.
Taylor Swift. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You see
Taylor
how?
Swift.
You know, I ain't gonna say nothing because it's kids watching, but. Let's just say her and Travis Kelce definitely, you know what I'm saying?
Like, and Ravens fans don't like to admit it. When Kyle Hamilton plays Travis, he plays so bad for some reason. He do. Kyle Hamilton does not play good against Travis Kelce.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up. Man, it is such a pleasure working with those guys, man. I swear that's like the highlight of my week. That's like the highlight of my life. Now, if you ask me about my personal life, I'd be like, But in terms of business, in terms of networking, man, it's been awesome, you know, and it's showing me a lot. I would say this too, you know, shout out to my man Eric, you know, I'm sipping out the cup. Shout out to the Fabric, EBJ, y'all see it. Feels real nice, man. It's just it looks real nice. What more can I say, man? Shout out Eric, man. Shout out everything y'all doing over there. Shout out BMore4Real. The whole entire cast, man. It takes a lot of people to get that done over there, and that's inspiring. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up. That's inspiring. I got a couple announcements too. I want us to pay attention to the community. So of course we're gonna get this community outreach together. Of course, coming up, we have the Desperate Housewives of the Bible, right? The Old, the Bold, and the Beautiful. It's on Saturday, August the 23rd, 2025, from 12 p.m. It's one at 12 p.m. and one at 5 p.m. Sunday, also on August the 24th, one at 4 p.m. at the Huber Community Life Center, 5700 Lock Raven Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland, 21239. You can hit your donations up. Y'all see the number on the screen for more information. This is brought to you by the Battle Stage Plays. They introducing this brand new gospel play, and we definitely want to shout them out. Do your thing. Desperate Housewives of the Bible. Another one that we got for you. Let's go ahead and pull this up real quick. Share the love, share the hope. This is Tasha's Tasty Treats LLC Community Outreach. You can donate. You see the QR code on the screen. Make sure that we go ahead and participate for those that are doing stuff in and for the community. This is very important. This is not being done for no reason. There are plenty of people that's trying to pitch in and help out communities, and they need the community help as well. Let's make sure we back the people that's backing us. Don't wait till it's time for you to be in need and for you to be, desperate for help, that you go ahead and reach out to these organizations without contributing as well. So that's very important. Let's go ahead and clap that up. Tasha's Tasty Treats. The QR code was on the screen. If you needed to, rewind it. Play it back, do what you need to do. We got another one. We got Sanford and Son stage play. This is on August the 31st and Monday, September the 1st. You already know we had Ricky the Real Deal Shackerfoot on here. Y'all already know we had these legends on here, man. Howard G. We would love for y'all to go ahead and support that. If you're in the Myrtle Beach area and stuff like that, make sure y'all go ahead and get them tickets, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and check them out, man. This is a dope comedy event. I know we all like to laugh, right? I know we all like to laugh. I know we all like to clap. We're going to laugh and we're going to clap for that, man. We're going to laugh and we're going to clap for that. The summer's in the 7th, you know what I'm saying? We got, the summer's in the 7th. We got backpacks, giveaways, and all this stuff. This is James Torrance initiative. So what we want you guys to do is we want you guys to go ahead and support the community as well. And it's very, very, very important that you guys, not only if you're in need, but definitely contribute all the resources you have. You're not being shown this for no reason. Also, we have brought to you by way of YSLI. They have a couple things going on, a couple great things. This is the youth ceremony, the annual youth ceremony as well. And you guys see the date and the time. It's on Saturday in September. We got plenty of time to prepare for this stuff. QR code is on the screen. One more thing that we need from you for YSLI, and we appreciate those guys, but we have a community cleanup, and this might be one of the most important, the most focal things about the program. It's a community cleanup, and it is on Saturday, July the 19th. All the information is right there on the screen. Let's make sure that we go ahead and support the community. Let's not only be more for real about ourselves, but let's be more for real about the communities and the environments that we are in. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. Be more for real, man. The realest conversation on the internet. Rated R for reality, brought to you by way of Real Explosions. Man, it's been real hot. It's been extremely hot. We still getting a lot of this camera stuff together and what have you. We know it's not been the best of picture, but we're still working on it, right? It's going to get better. It's going to get better. That's one of the things I was talking about. It seemed like this week, right, really haven't went my way, and I'm not here to complain, but I'm just here to share just a little bit more light too. Sometimes it's good to be the stronger one. You know what I'm saying? Even though you might be going through something, you know what I'm saying, as a person, you know what I mean. But even though you might be going through something, it's good to show some resilience. It's good to show be stoic sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I know those are some big words, but they really not big and fancy. Stoic just means not impacted by your emotions, and we know what the other word means. But I'm just saying it's good because people don't know what you go through. You know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis. But it's important to be here to me. You know what I'm saying, on this Wednesday before the people. So I'm going to be here nonetheless. See, they like to say that, no, I would say Lil Wayne, he put it in his verse. Let me know if y'all know this song too, whatever song this was, because this would come to mind when I was thinking about it. He said, no one sees my struggle. They only see the trouble. Not knowing it's hard to carry on when no one likes you. Actually, that was Tupac. I'm tripping. So that's how you know, man. That's how you know I'm tripping. They like, what in the world? Yeah, I'm tripping. But yeah, that's Tupac. I can't think of the name of the song. No one sees the struggle. They only see the trouble. Not knowing it's hard to carry on when no one loves you. What is the name of that song? Anyway, I'm not saying that no one doesn't love me. I'm just saying no one sees the struggle. They only see the trouble. Nobody sees the input. They only see the output. They only see the result. They never see what it takes to do everything that it takes to do. That's why they say you can't walk a mile in my shoes. But as I digress, be more for real. We still in here. I got you. I ain't gonna waste a whole lot of time, man. But we still got some things to run down, man. The Monday Night Sports Show is coming up. Also, Shameless had a great show on yesterday. Awesome show, as they always do. They have a raffle coming out as well. You could be a prize winner. You'll have to go to BMore Pod Network, and you'll have to go to Shameless Podcast, and you'll have to see the raffle tickets, and I would let them explain. You just have to go over there to check it out. But in the meantime, in the between time, let's go ahead and drop that clip.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Out there.
Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things.
Well, let's say names and get sued. Let's tell people names and get sued. Let's tell everybody. Let's just tell the whole damn truth. I'm saying to the sisters and the brothers, because we're not going to be biased, because the same way these men out here cheating, honey, these women out here praying. P-R-E-Y. Period. You're not going to argue with me about it. When they should be doing this praying. Right. He owed me his loyalty. That part.
Hi, I'm Sherelle, known as Misty Blues. Hi, I'm Glenise, known as Lady Angelic.
Hi, I'm Felicia, also known as The Visionary.
I'm Monica, known as Moni Love.
I'm Leah, better known as Songbird.
And we're Shameless Unplugged.
You know, Monica, to address what you said, what you did to get them, you have to do to keep them.
That's exactly right.
On both ends, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. That's why I was saying.
I know where you going.
Wait a minute. You know what? I love what Erica said up there. She said, tie him to the bedpost. My girl, that's my type of thinking.
We're going to read Erica stuff. We all know Erica.
Okay. And Amen. So let the church say amen.
Amen. What's the highest praise? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I was.
Shameless Unplugged. Another Be More Pod production. Coming to you live. Every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. Exclusively on the Be More Pod network.
I don't know if they're ready for this one.
That's a heavy one.
All right, we're going to go ahead and clap that up for them as well. Be more for real. We are in the building, man. This is the realest conversation anywhere on the net. And I just want to continue on about last week. I wanted to do a part 2, and I am going to do a part 2. Like I said, I do recognize that the video is not is best, and we still working on that too. So, you know, all the contributions that you can make to this channel as well will greatly be appreciated. Yeah, any and all help, man, was greatly appreciated. This stuff don't run by itself. We got to continue on maintenance and all this equipment, and it don't just run by itself. It don't get maintenance by itself. All this stuff costs definitely. Anyway, as I digress or regress, like I like to say, as I regress, let's go ahead over to the topic of the night. The system versus the soul, man. This is very important, and this means a whole lot to me, as you can tell, because I'm doing a part 2. I don't know how many part 2s that we have ever done on this show, but it's extremely important. And like I said, this program is made to deprogram you to what you have been programmed to. Again, I must say that this program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. So a lot of stuff that you might hear on this platform it might be uncomfortable. It might be unpleasant to the ears. But I will say this as well, and we already had an episode about that as well. Don't have confirmation bias. I'm going to say that again. Don't have confirmation bias. If you don't know what confirmation bias is listening to something that goes along basically with your ideals and what you believe, and that's the only thing that you accept basically. And I'm just putting it in layman's terms. If you want, I'll put it up on the screen. I'm not putting up the dictionary definition right offhand, because we already did a show on that too. So make sure you go ahead and re-look over that confirmation bias show. But I will say this show is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. So if you do have that confirmation bias and you don't like to listen to a lot of stuff that you don't like to listen to, I would say let this be the platform that you do listen to, that is an avenue that give you another perspective of what you're not used to, so you don't have confirmation bias. Does that make sense? Let this show be the show that you listen to so that you don't have confirmation bias. Even if you do not agree and you don't agree, which is absolutely fine, still listen to the podcast, like or dislike the stream, but definitely subscribe to the podcast, because you don't want to have that confirmation bias. All right. Now, without further ado, man, we're talking about the system versus the soul. And this is extremely important to get across to the people. And basically what I want to say is this, right? That's what I want to say, is that your thoughts are not your own. I'm going to say that again. Your thoughts, what you thinking is not your own thoughts. Your thoughts are actually being engineered. And this was the problem that I had, right, with Tyler Perry. This is the problem that I had with Oprah and other prominent black figures who are in that realm, who contribute to this societal. Remember, I said I know societal is not a word, but trust me, I'm gonna make up a lot of words. I know societal not a word, right? The societal or societal, like I said originally, right? But there are people that are engineering the thoughts of society. Your thoughts are not your own. And what I wanted to tell you is that it's important to listen to podcasts like this. Like I was telling you, the deprogramming, where the deprogramming begins, it's important to listen to podcasts like this, because the news and other media outlets, which are controlled, and yes, they are controlled by the government, which I'll get into very shortly. What I will say is that they are engineering your thoughts for you. See, what you see and what you introduce yourself to on TV and all that stuff, they are making the thoughts for you. And I know people are going to say, hey, yo, OMG crazy, right? OMG Danny, that mojo crazy, right? That's what they gonna say. He done lost his mind. He done went bananas. He done went apes. You know what I'm saying? He done went AWOL, right? He done tapped out south. And this is what I'm saying too for the people, right? Especially for my black people, right? Y'all wouldn't understand or y'all wouldn't listen to me unless it came from a white man. Unless it came from a white man and those media sources and that type of realm, it makes it hard to believe. And this is what I was saying about confirmation bias. It's very important. Go back and look at that episode. I think it was episode 56 or something like that. And we already in 100. We almost we over 50 episodes past that right now. You know what I'm saying? And so we got an extensive catalog about talking about this stuff. So I want to make sure I'm not repeating myself, but I want to make sure that I also expound on what I'm saying. But I don't want to lose those people that may not have been with us 50-something odd episodes ago as well, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm trying to put all this together for the guys, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And what I need you guys to do too, since you lending me your ear and stuff like that, take 1 second out to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and share this content as well. This is the realest conversation on the internet. It is rated R for reality. This is as close as you're gonna get to a real conversation online without it being filtered. But as I digress, look, it's important that we have podcasts like this. And I know people don't think podcasts should be important. And I didn't know I was going to go here, because if I did know I was going to go here, I would have pulled up comments where they say, these people don't deserve a mic. Take the mic from them. All these people don't deserve a mic, but you don't understand what these people are doing. Just the same as, and see, I don't like to argue. I like to put stuff into perspective. It's just like those people that do the audits of the police and of the government, and they go in those places and, they just start filming the police and all that, and then, stuff happens. Sometimes the police do their job. Sometimes they act irate and they violate the citizens' rights. And so these people are very important nonetheless. These independent media and these independent people, such as this podcast, we are very, very important to the growth, facilitation, the maintenance, and the reproduction of the entire media organization. And so this is what I was saying about Tyler Perry and what's her name? She started in Baltimore. Oprah Winfrey. She got her own network. Look, these people are engineering society. They're engineering our thoughts, and basically your thoughts are not your own. Did I bring it home? These thoughts that you thinking are not your own. And they're gonna be like, OMG, Danny, yo, you crazy, right? You crazy for saying that. Like, you just talking out the side of your neck, or you just talking out the back of your butthole. You feel what I'm saying? You talk a whole lot of sugar, honey, iced tea. But hold on, since you don't believe it and you can't believe that it comes from me, let's pay attention to this video. I got a video, right? And I know the quality is not the best, right? I got a video, right? And I know the quality is not the best. But what I want you to do is pay attention to the words. You'll be able to see certain things, and I know it skips by or whatever, and you can look at it on your own time and on your own leisure. But I'm going to show the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the screen first. I'm going to prepare the screen and put it up there, right? So y'all know where I'm headed. Y'all can see the title and all that stuff. And before we get there as well, I wanted to say that in no way or shape or form am I enticing people to, come against the government. But I want you to look, right here at what you see right here, right? I want you to look right here. You can see the title up there, right? Y'all can see it. But I want you to look and see for yourself. And see, this is what I do like about America, is that the laws are set in place that we do have the freedom of press, the freedom of religion, and freedom of speech. But there are things that are transgressing or coming against those basic rights that we have. And I'm thankful for media like this. It's very important. And I'm not trying to incite violence against the government, because I want people to realize this. The government is ran by people. The government is not this autonomous robotic being. Again, I'm gonna say this again. Hold, pause, slow down. Let me turn myself up. Let me turn myself up real quick so y'all can hear me loud and clear. The government is not a robotic autonomous being, some created autonomous being. The government is literally ran by people. So if we get across to the people, then we would get across to the government. See, we have the power to change government. It's written in their laws. I didn't make this up. But see, our problem is we are too cowardice. The government has struck in fear in us to the point where as though we feel like we can't voice and say our opinion against the government. But no, there are policies, rules, and procedures that's holding us down till this day, that been holding us from back in the day. There are rules and laws that they refuse to change, that will not change, and it's up to us to change them. So what? If the government is up next, the government is up next, and it's up next. We got you right here. Let me not keep on rambling, and let me go ahead and play this video so y'all know what I'm talking about. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear. Put a 2 if you can't.
This is the Pentagon, which spends almost $1 billion a year just on advertising, recruiting, propaganda, the selling of war.
There are Pentagon contracts with news organizations in terms of how to manipulate the news. There are Pentagon officials involved in press releases that go to the media in which intelligence is used to manipulate public opinion, which is a violation of the charter of any intelligence organization. Then you have retired generals who serve as press spokesmen for all the networks, and it's never revealed which military-industrial firms they work for.
Okay, I don't want to keep pausing this, right? But I want to make sure we can get through this. I want to make sure people hear this. I don't want to keep pausing this, but I want to make sure that we get through this, and I want to make sure people hear this. They're telling you that the government, they literally have people that they put in the press. They tell the press what to do, what to say, how to say it, and they literally control the press. And this is what they're saying, not me. Like I said, you would have thought I was crazy, right? But that's what this guy just said. But without further ado, let me go there. Let me go ahead, pull this back up, right? We're going to go ahead, pull this back up, and I'm going to just go back just a little bit. Go ahead, go back just a little bit. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into it, right? Let's do it. We're gonna get into it. Let's do it.
Which spends almost $1 billion a year just on advertising, recruiting, propaganda.
The government, and this is back in the day. Y'all can see the video, even though this video messed up. This is not modern day. If I had to give a guess, I would say the year this was released would probably be around 2008, 9, 10, right? Over 10, 12 years ago, right? The video quality is not full HD, just like this video quality is not. But you guys see the title of the video, How the Government Manipulates Facts, right? Secrets and Lies, right? It's crazy. But they have a budget, right, for spending. That's what the guy just said, right? Let's do it again. That's what he just said, right? Let's do it.
This is the Pentagon, which spends almost $1 billion a year just on advertising, recruiting, propaganda.
They spend almost $1 billion a year back then on recruiting, advertisement, and propaganda.
The selling of war.
And the selling of war.
There are Pentagon contracts with news organizations in terms of how to manipulate the news. There are Pentagon officials involved in press releases that go to the media in which intelligence is used to manipulate public opinion, which is...
Jesus, they just going too fast. They saying a whole lot in a little bit of words, and they saying it too fast, and you probably won't pick it up, and you probably won't realize it, but this is true. Let me turn myself down because I know I'm getting loud. Let me turn myself down just a little bit. But this is what they saying, though. This is what they saying. I didn't say this. And they, like I said, they would say, OMG, right? You crazy, right? You crazy, OMG, Danny. You don't know what you talking about. You crazy, right? You crazy, right? You crazy, right? OMG Danny don't know what the hell he talking about. It's like I'm just sitting here talking and I'm saying, oh, you know what? The government, they're just so bad. They're just so freaking bad, man. The government is horrible, dude. The government, they're putting pimples on cats. They're the reason why spaceships land on Earth. I'm just a total nutcase conspiracy theorist, right? That's how they make us seem. And this is why it's important to have your own media. This is exactly why it's important to have your own media. This is exactly why it's important to have your own podcast, because you never get the opinion. Just like, let's put it in a sports perspective too, right? Let's say you have a ESPN and all that stuff. They have a certain guidelines. But when you got podcasts like, let's just say, Be More Sports Talk, right? With Big Brother Eric, right? With Big Brother Eric, right? Let's say you got a sport podcast there, right? You're going to get a lot more information and deeper insight on a podcast like that as opposed to ESPN because these guys are filtered. They are being censored. He just told you, for goodness sakes, that the government got $1 billion budgets and all that stuff for propaganda. Not only did he say that, he went as far as to say that they have Pentagon agents that go out and tell the press, they manipulate, this is the word that he used, they manipulate the press. And remember, that word manipulate is in the title of the YouTube video as well. So you guys can go back and watch this video as well. It's over an hour long, but so is this podcast, so you can get through it. Ain't nothing to it. But as I regress, what I'm saying is that these are the words that he used. And if I was to say it for myself, people would think that I am crazy. Like, really, I'm off my rockers. And thank goodness that it's a whole production. This is a lot of different people, a lot of prominent people. And last week, we even seen Dan Rather. If you're old enough to know, if you know, you know. Dan Rather, one of the, if not the most famous news reporter outside of like Al Roker and them. Like, he's up there with the most all-time greatest reporters, even Oprah Winfrey and stuff like that. We're talking about Dan Rather, right? But as I digress or regress, this is what he's talking about. And I want us to pay close attention. And what I'm going to do, too, is I'm going to just rewind it again, just so we can catch it. And it's not just for me as well. It's for you, too. Excuse me, it's not just for you. It's for me as well. That's what I meant to say. So let's make sure y'all can see that. Let's make sure I got it. I got it full screen, right? Look, I'm manning the whole ship right now, but look, let's do it.
Saddam Hussein and 9/11. This is the Pentagon, which spends almost $1 billion a year just on advertising, recruiting, propaganda, the selling of war.
There are Pentagon contracts with news organizations in terms of how to manipulate the news. There are Pentagon officials involved in press releases that go to the media in which intelligence is used to manipulate public opinion, which is a violation of the charter of any intelligence organization. Then you have retired generals who serve as press spokesmen for all the networks, and it's never revealed which military-industrial firms they work for.
Central to this is the co-opting and spinning of a media regarded as the freest in the world.
Showdown Iraq. If America goes to war, turn to MSNBC and the experts.
If we journalists, including myself, had right from the get-go, from the opening pop, had started asking the kind of tough, digging, aggressive questions we should have been asking, and doing our reporting, rather than just being kind of stenographers, go to a briefing, have an official say something, print it in the paper next day. If we had done our job, I do think a strong argument can be made that perhaps we would not have gone to war.
Man, I know we seen this last week, but I had to get deeper into that, man. I just have to. We can cut this up. It's crazy, right? It's crazy, right? We're going to get back to it, but it's crazy, right? And like I said, Dan Rather, we see Dan Rather, one of the most influential reporters in reporting history, right? Right? Dan Rather, right? Shout out to the legend, by the way. Shout out Dan Rather. But even still, they are putting people from the Pentagon and from government officials into the media. It's important that people understand what I'm saying. Not even just understand, but understand what I'm saying. They put people from the government in the media. They control the media front to back. Realize what I just said. They put people in the media from front to back. They manipulate them. They tell them what to say in order to manipulate the public opinion. So this is why independent music. This is why independent artistry. This is why independent podcasts and media. This is why this is important. Because otherwise, we be left with them to do the reporting. And they're going to tell you about how they are with reporting. Let me just pull this back up and let them keep going ahead. I'm not trying to pause it too much. We didn't even get that far ahead because a lot of us seen this last week, but I had to dive deeper into this, and I had to let the people know. So let's do it.
The attack on Iraq was sold by these two men.
Hold up. And look how eerily similar this is to today's time. It is July the 16th, circa 2025. Again, this is July 16th, circa 2025. And I told you this video is probably no older than, 2000 by the graphics of it. It looks like it can't be no, it has to be before 2010. Definitely before 2010. I will say that. 2010 was about 15 years ago. But let's go.
The blueprint for the invasion was this military doctrine called shock and awe, designed to paralyze the country and destroy food production, water supply, and other civilian infrastructure. The effect would be similar to the dropping of the atomic bombs on Japan. This was terrorizing people on a grand scale, and it would be covered up by deception in massive amounts. But this was not how it was reported at the time.
Scores of American reporters.
Whoa. Because remember, I was just saying, whoa. Because remember, I just told you, this is why we need independent media. This is why we need independent podcasts. This is why we need independent musicians and artists and artistry. This is why, because I told you, if they the ones left up to the music, the reporting and all that stuff, watch what they do. You just heard what just happened in Iraq, right? Back at that time, right? You just heard, right? I just want to make sure that I'm not crazy, right? I want to make sure that we all heard the same thing, right? You can't say I'm crazy for this, because I'm showing you now that this is not just me. I didn't make this up. I don't even wish I did. You know how people say, I wish I did, but no, I didn't make this up. I wish this wasn't even true, as a matter of fact. But let's go ahead. Let's go. Let's get it.
Have now joined U.S. military units in Kuwait as part of the Pentagon's effort to make any war with Iraq what the Pentagon calls a media-friendly campaign.
A new word, embedding, entered media language in the planning for the invasion. Most of the reports that viewers saw came from within a system in which media organizations agreed to certain conditions laid down by the Ministry of Defense in London and the Pentagon in Washington.
At the time that our forces crossed into Iraq, we had some 700 reporters embedded throughout our military formations. Embedding was important for that conflict for a number of reasons. One being that we knew we were going up against an enemy that was somewhat masterful at misinformation, disinformation.
We have a number of correspondents in bed with our troops across the region.
And very deeply embedded in a personal way with the Marines that he's traveling with.
I love this expression for the Iraq War, the embedded journalists. Well, too many journalists have been in bed with the administration on a variety of issues. I would say 80 to 90% of what you read in a newspaper is officially inspired.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? It didn't came from me, it didn't came from me, it didn't come from me, it didn't came from me, it didn't whatever. I didn't say it, right? This guy said it. He said 80 to 90% of what you hear. This is why independent reporting, independent media is important. And that's why I say, look, regardless of how this video content looks, right? Because I don't know how we look on the video, but I know it's probably blurry and all that stuff too, right? But who cares? You get the gist of what I'm saying. We having technical difficulties. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Do all your good stuff so we can continue going putting out this content. It's tough to make sure that we put out this content each and every single week. So make sure y'all support the channel. But what this gentleman said was that 80 to 90% of what you hear by the media has been inspired. I believe that's what he said word for word, right? I believe that's what he said word for word. 80 to 90% of what you hear from the media has been inspired, which means they made this shit up. Like, stop trying to sugarcoat this stuff. This is why I keep saying this program is made to deprogram you what you've been programmed to, right? This is BMore4Real. This program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. Because if it wasn't, right? If it wasn't, then I would not be here. And they're going to eventually soon, right? They would try to cancel you. They would try to demonetize you and stuff like that to make sure that you won't win because you don't go along with the plan. But this is why it's important for us to listen to things like that, even things that do not tickle our ears, that make us feel uncomfortable, and it's a cause for action. This is true information. True information is not only going to enlighten you and make you feel inspired, but there's going to be a cause for action. There's not only going to be just a cause, but there's going to be a righteous cause for action. There's going to be a righteous call to duty with information. With information comes intended purpose and expected action. Again, with information becomes intended purpose and expected action. I would say this. In the age of information, right? We in the age of information, right? And y'all motherfuckers still stupid. It's like, nah, I ain't gonna say all that, right? But we in the age of information, right? And what is the definition of information? Think about that. Have anybody ever, and I know for those that know me, right, that I've had this conversation with, they're going to be like, oh boy, there he go. But no, think about that. We are in the age of information. And not only is y'all motherfuckers still stupid, but what is the definition of information? Did you think about that? What is the definition of information? Yeah, look that up. And then tell me if it's anything that means something to you. Tell me, does it make sense? Is there anything that means something to you? But as I digress, let's go ahead and keep moving forward.
If they're covering the intelligence community, for example, and they become critical of the CIA or a major intelligence organization, they're going to lose their sources. If they become critical of the Pentagon, it's going to be very difficult to get into the Pentagon to deal with official military sources.
Did you hear that? So this is how they outcast you with this information. This is exactly how they outcast you with this information. They say, okay, well, if you're speaking against the Pentagon, if you're speaking against this stuff, and you're going against the government, you won't even be able to get into the government headquarters. So now you know that the people that they let into the government, look, see, this is what I do. I think about the indirectly, right? So if y'all outcast the people who don't agree with your regime, who don't agree with your ideas, your ideologies, your programs, indoctrination, whatever you want to call it. If it's people that don't agree with your opinion, if it's people that don't agree with the government, that's what I mean by the government, whether it's the CIA or whatever, if it's people that disagree with them, right, then they wouldn't let you in. Which means indirectly, right, think about it, indirectly, that means that if you do pander to them and you do cater to what they're trying to say and the things that the agendas, that's the proper word that I need to use, the agendas that they're trying to push, if you do listen to that, then guess what? You're invited. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so that y'all ain't subscribed yet to the channel too. I bet you if you hear this, man, you're going to be like, yo, that brother, yeah, maybe that make a little bit of sense there for those of us that have sense. For those of us that have sense, that is. But anyway, I don't want to keep on holding this up, man. I got to let this play. And of course, we're not going to get to this whole thing, but I just really want to stress this documentary. I had to do a part 2 because I was like, yo, I didn't dive deep enough into this video because it absolutely says everything that needs to be said, and it's in the BMore4Real context. Let's go ahead and keep it going.
So I think journalists like to be part of the game, part of the inside crowd, and therefore the conventional wisdom is the best wisdom.
24-hour news in particular is a system that is the most easy to manipulate. 24-hour news is a giant echo chamber. So that's why, for example, Basra was reported as having fallen 17 times before it actually fell. And yet, within 24-hour news, when you're reporting it for the 7th time in that chain of 17 times when the city has fallen falsely, the fact that it's been wrong the previous 7 times just doesn't matter.
American armor is moving at will across whole swathes of Baghdad. This is
Raghi Omar reporting for the BBC from Baghdad. He described the arrival of the Americans as a liberation.
People have come out welcoming them, holding up V signs. This is an image taking place across the whole of the Iraqi capital today.
But it was not happening across the rest of Iraq. This was another illusion. The toppling of a statue of Saddam Hussein was seized upon by the invading force as a target of opportunity. What was not news was a US Army investigation describing how they exploited what they called a media circus. There are almost as many reporters as Iraqis, says the report. It was an American PSYOPs officer who ordered the statue brought down. The resulting TV pictures gave no sense of the bloody conquest of Iraq that was already well underway.
You know, I didn't really do my job properly. I think I'd hold my hand up and say that one didn't press the most uncomfortable buttons hard enough.
As you described the arrival of the Americans, you didn't tell us the story of how that whole statue was itself manipulated. Why not?
The entire live cameras of the world's press were on the balcony of the Palestine Hotel. And that was really the only events that they saw about Iraqis coming out. So it was a sort of made-for-TV moment. And the most telling moment in that whole day was when an American soldier climbed up a crane and put the American flag over the statue's face. Because in fact that was a true iconic moment of what had happened, that America had taken ownership of Iraq.
In Britain, Blair and Bush's invasion was applauded as a vindication of them and their strategy.
He said that they would be...
Let's pause for station identification. Let's pause real quick.